is not quite right to be holding a camera filming with all these kids around, so I'm gonna make an exit. Today we are here in Shenzhen, which is one of the tech capitals in China and likely the world. This is home to many famous tech startups here, and it is a great sourcing hub for technological products. A lot of semiconductor work, a lot of electronics, a lot of high-tech, new age AI startups are here as well. It's also home to factories and also companies like Huawei, like BYD, like DJI, which is across the road right there. And it's a really prominent place for startups here in China. Very recently, in the last couple of years, this place has developed significantly. You can see here, it's even got one of these corner display boards that's always very famous in China. And yeah, it's a place that's developed a lot. I'm here in a kind of little, what do we call it, a suburb called Huaqiangbei, and there's a lot of tech here. It used to be known as one of the electronic hubs of China, and it still is, don't get me wrong, but because of how far e-commerce and online business has come, a lot of the products you see here are not super advanced and technological anymore. Most of the innovation in China doesn't come from these big trading center areas. It actually comes from entrepreneurs who want to build their own brands, especially Western entrepreneurs that come to China to assist with a lot of white labeling and assist with a lot of product development. So China is a country which is really good at taking a business or an idea from 1 to 100, but they're not very good at taking a business or idea from 0 to 1. In the West, it is still significantly stronger to create brands, build brands, ideate, and come up with cool ideas and bring an idea from 0 to 1. You know what's really cool? As I'm walking here, there is an automated street sweeper just there cleaning the streets. So you can see there's a lot of tech here, and there's a lot of big like trading centers, markets here, where you can kind of enjoy, look at products, look at whatever's new. What's new in China likely is extremely new in the West, and this guy is just here. You can see it's all automated. There's a lot of automation in this city, a lot of robotics. There's automated cabs, there's automated cleaning, there's drone delivery service in the sky. So I saw a lot of drones flying around yesterday and I was like, what is this? And it's just a lot of drones in the sky. But yeah, like I was saying, in China, if you see tech here, it's usually quite new to the West. But if you're quite used to the sourcing game, if you're quite used to finding new products, or you're very cutting edge in e-commerce, a lot of what you see in these market areas isn't super new, because you would have already done your research, you would have already been searching for new products. I'm looking for some new tech stuff, something that's interesting, something that will make me excited about potentially bringing online and building a business around. But it's hard, man. Usually with all of this stuff, if you want to get away from competing with the dropshippers, you want to make something that's quite creative and new. And what that means is you have to innovate. You need to find factories to work with and not middlemen or trading partners. And you need to find really good product engineers or designers for you to design something. But beyond that is, if you want to start an innovative new business that doesn't get cannibalized by dropshippers within the first 6 months, you need to be investing a lot of money into the R&D aspect of your business to build specific IP, trademarks, designs, patents that you can actually protect and create a moat around. And that is how you build business. So you can see here, this area is Huaqiangbei. China is an awesome place. It's definitely a place where if you haven't been, you have to come. It is not as Western media portrays as, oh, dirty. You know, it is extremely modern, especially in cities like Shenzhen. Right now, it's very quiet. The streets are quite empty because it is currently Lunar New Year, and people have already started to go home for the New Year's. Today's a Sunday as I'm filming this, and yesterday was our last day of work. In China, they have a habit which is called 969 or 699, whatever you want to call it. Is essentially they work 6 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And that's their typical work hours. Not like us back in the West, where it's 4 days a week, 9 to 5, or 5 days a week, 9 to 5. Yeah, it's a very, very big difference in culture and work ethic here in China. Let's go check out Seg Technology Park. It is usually, if you search electronic markets in Shenzhen, one of the markets that is often highly recommended. And most of these vendors are already on holiday. So just be warned, I can't show you all the cool stuff today because everyone's already gone home to their, what they call in China, Laojia, which is old home or origin home for holiday to spend with family. In Chinese culture, we are very, very family orientated. We are very much into family culture and family life. And for a lot of the people that work in these major cities, they come from smaller cities where they leave their families for pretty much 95% of the year. And they only go back once every so often to visit. Let's go have a look. Usually there's a lot of people around, but yeah, it's quite quiet today. I also don't know where I'm walking into, so you guys are literally coming with me on this journey. But it looks like I've walked into a school or some sort of a childcare. This is not quite right to be holding a camera filming with all these kids around, so I'm gonna make an exit and let's go try to find a different entrance. It's strange because this is labeled the technology park here. You can see in China they hustle a lot, and you can see outside all of these guys hustling for whatever business. Here we go. Here's the actual market. All right, let me show you guys. So it looks like this is a big second-hand electronic market. A lot of stolen phones across the world end up in markets like these, refurbished and sold off again. But as I was saying earlier, a lot of these stores have already gone home for the holidays. One thing to note whilst you're shopping at these markets is that if they have brands on them, a lot of the times they are not legit. But with that being said, a lot of these guys are licensed resellers, and they also do a lot of refurb. In China, the philosophy behind that is, if I buy something, I want to use it to its max, and then when it breaks, I want to fix it, and I want to give it a second chance. Very much different to how we are back at home in Australia, where when we use stuff and it breaks, we kind of just bin it, rather than trying to refurb and make a little bit of money on it. China, it's hard to make money, you know. Most people here don't live on much. It's only maybe in the recent years where getting a 10, 15K a month salary makes sense, and that's RMB, which converts to about 2,000 to 3,000 AUD a month, which is still completely livable here, by the way. But majority of the population, if they're uneducated, they're probably on, you know, anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 RMB a month. Yeah, so it looks like this trading center is all photography equipment, phones, and the like, which is quite interesting. And you can see there's always stock around. That's TikTok shop stuff over there. There's a lot of stock. There's a lot of things, tech products. Most people have already gone home. Most of these stores are closed. I actually had no time because I came to China for a sourcing and factory trip. Over the last 5 days, I visited 13 factories, negotiated over 10 contracts, and finalized on maybe 10 new products that we're launching. And I was like, I had no time, so I wanted to still visit all these places, but I'm kind of late and everyone's already gone home. There's a lot of graphics cards back there, a lot of computer stuff, security cameras, speakers, Nintendo Switch. Apparently they sell JBL and Marshall speakers there, which I don't believe. Intel chips, computer stuff, audio equipment, lighting. These places are kind of good if you want to come and source small quantities, because a lot of the time, like I said, they're trading companies, right? And as trading companies, they are happy to sell you very small quantities. Whereas a factory cannot be fucked to deal with you if you want small quantities. And why is that? Because to run a line at the factory to produce costs a significant amount of money. So what I learned this time in China is if you go to a factory and you want to have a production, the reason why they have an MOQ that's so high is not that because they don't want to serve you. It's not that because they don't want to give you a small MOQ. It's because it sometimes takes literally 3 to 4 or 5 hours, 3, 4, 5 people to set up the machinery just to print your stuff or just to make your stuff. When you use your molds, your dyes, these take a significant amount of money and time. Factory bosses who are making, for example, 100,000 units, 10,000 units, 50,000 units, they don't really want to take the small orders because it's not worth it for them. So a lot of the times when finding a factory, it's actually a two-way street. It's almost like dating. You have to kind of riz them and prove to them that you are someone worth working with. You are an entrepreneur that kind of should earn their trust, and that way they will open up their doors to you to take on a smaller initial order for you to test the market and prove yourself. This is a pretty cool floor. This is a pretty cool floor if I was into tech audio, which I'm not super into. But for an audio nerd or for anyone like that who's really into equipment, diodes, cathodes, lights, light bulbs, wires, LEDs, ropes, this could be a really cool place for you. You just have to find the right center that suits your needs, especially if you want to get into tech. And another thing to consider for electronics wise is you need certifications a lot of times in certain countries. So don't just assume that just because you saw something, you're able to then legally sell it. So that goes to all of you dropshippers which sell dodgy ass products out there. I know you're all doing it in a very dodgy way, but also understand you're just hustling. But yeah, just don't hurt people. Don't get shit quality products because there are actually intrinsically dangers that go with it. Oh, you can see here, all of these are phones. All sorts of different phones. What is this? Standard iPhone 14. iPhone 14, they're selling for 1,625 RMB. So you divide that roughly by about 4.9, call it 5 to make it even. It's about 320 bucks for an iPhone 14. Hold on a second. Please hold. iPhone 15s here, 2,200 for an iPhone 15. iPhone 15 Pro Max is 4,247 for a 256 gig, which is about 800 bucks. 800 bucks for an iPhone 15 Pro Max 256. I feel like that's almost a 40% off or a 30% off. Obviously, these are likely going to be refurb phones, but that's pretty cool. That's a nice, well done shop compared to a lot of these shops that you'll see behind me coming through. So those are just what your normal average shops look like, but that was a very nice shop in there. And you'll usually find stuff like that. If you need to source a lot of new phones or you want an extra phone, this is a great place to get them. I think you can get a lot of them in Guangzhou as well. So a lot of the times, locals also come here to buy stuff as well. But obviously you have to come here ready to haggle. I'm telling you right now, you have to haggle. If you do not haggle, you are going to get your ass ripped out of you. It's just facts. In China, it's a city where trade is actually trade. You have to haggle, like back in the good old days. Sometimes you can get even 70% off. No bullshit. But if you're a foreigner, it makes it a lot harder. I'm lucky because I can speak Chinese and I drive a pretty hard bargain because I know that I can find the same product literally 2 shops down. So I often like to play on their emotions, a little bit dog, but I like to play on their emotions and a little bit of urgency. If I know that they need money or I know that they're having a shit day, then I can push them down even more. These are just my secret haggling hacks. But yeah, if you make them laugh and you have a bit of fun with them, usually they'll just go, fuck it, I'll do it, I'll do the deal. So a little bit of charisma, a little bit of fun goes a long way, guys. Don't just think that you're there to rip them or they're there to rip you. It's a two-way street, so it's a bit of a fight. And after a good haggle, everyone leaves happy And even the vendors leave happy because they know that they're still making money off you. And in China, they don't really need to make that much. So don't come to China with the Western mindset and Western pricing in mind, because you're just gonna rip yourself. Come here with China pricing and China in mind. So this store I'm standing in front is a store called Dazhang, which as we know in the West is called DJI. It is one of their Shenzhen stores, and this is where it comes from. So I don't know if the prices are different. Let's go and have a look. They have a lot of variety here. So the Osmo Pocket here, Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo is 3,600 RMB here, and you get a 9% tax refund as well. You're talking maybe 3,200 RMB for the Creator Combo set for the Osmo Pocket 3. And that means it is about 650 bucks. $650 for an Osmo Pocket 3 combo. I bought this combo that you're watching right now literally for like 1.1K. Fuck. It's almost half price here. Crazy, crazy. There's a lot of street markets as well. So these are specifically just for New Year's. A lot of markets on the street, souvenirs. And again, you got to haggle for everything. They love toy guns here. A lot of tech, mobile phone stores. It's a very festive time of the year whilst I'm here. What is this? All right, let's go have a look. I think I have stumbled upon a food market. So another tip in China as well is when you want to come and you want to eat, you want to come and travel, always try to set up the necessary things for you. And that includes something like Alipay. You have to be able to transact. They don't really use too much cash here, although cash is still welcome in most places. And most places actually don't take a bank card. So your Visa and Master don't work as well. Usually you have to scan the tables, as you can see there, those QR codes, and you pay on your phone. China also loves Muslims. So you can see here, there's a lot of Muslim influence. They have actually a lot of Muslim restaurants. They have a lot of halal food often, because there's a huge subsect of Chinese culture and society that actually intersects with Arab culture and Muslims as well. Okay, I have found myself in the middle of a random food market. And that's the thing. Because the population is so dense here, every little nook and cranny is being used for something. It looks like right now I'm outside SF Express, which is one of the biggest logistics companies in the world. And it's pretty much like extreme rapid delivery service in China. You can book an SF Express and you can have next day delivery to almost most states in China, or most provinces in China, within the next 24 to 48 hours. So very, very quick. And the logistics in China is just incredible. There is no way that any other country can match with this, not even Amazon. Amazon would absolutely be shaking if Chinese logistics companies enter the fray in the US. But I'm sure that they're slowly starting to make their way, because I can see it happening in Australia with the launch of delivery services such as Tainiao, which is also another delivery service, logistics service, which has opened up trade from China into Australia, and you can start to order Chinese products and have it essentially delivered straight to Australia, where it never used to be before. And you used to need to get a shipping agent or a shipping forwarder to ship your products that you order from here. But now the domestic logistics companies, because China's financial situation right now isn't the best, are starting to look outwards, and they want to take on some risk to expand into international waters. They're very savvy. If there's one thing I can say about this country, it is they are very, very, very hungry, very savvy. The entrepreneurs are extremely aggressive with an extreme amount of resource at their hand. So yeah, it's very, very hard to compete with these big Chinese companies. The speed, the ferocity, the tenacity that they move with is almost unmatched out in the West. Here, it's very common. Yesterday, I was out with one of the factories that we work with until 1 a.m. We were literally back in the office at 1 a.m. drinking tea, going over products and R&D. So they are hustlers here. They are willing to work. They don't give a shit. Here, the kind of mindset is, I need to get the job done. Very often I ask factory staff is that they will go and do work, literally because they just come, like they got nothing else better to do, so they might as well do a bit of work. And that's kind of the mindset that they have. Yeah, so a lot of the staff, they live here where they work, they live where they work, and they've moved from their little provinces over to whatever factory or whatever business that they work for. And oftentimes the bosses here actually provide accommodation and food for these employees so they can focus on working, which is very, very interesting. Imagine your work efficiency and output if you didn't need to stress out about rent, bills, and food every single day. A lot of the big factory bosses, even if they have 100, 200, 300, 400 employees, they often buy an entire apartment block right next to their factory where they put their staff. A good example of this is a business in China called Haidilao, which is hot pot. If you Google that, you'll see their culture, and it's one of the most desirable places to work here in China. And I just realized I'm jaywalking, but yes, have a look at the Chinese work culture and you'll realize that the bosses want to maximize output and work efficiency, and they do that literally by covering accommodation and food and basic living expenses for the staff. It's not as bad as you think. A lot of, I would say, Western media kind of demonize Chinese work culture as toxic because, you know, their salary doesn't look as high because they make 10, 15,000 RMB a month, which is 2 to 3,000 AUD a month. Yeah, no shit. To us in the West, that sounds small. But to them here, when, you know, a meal costs you 5 to 10 RMB, literally $2 for a meal. I can buy a bowl of noodles today for $2 to $3 Australian. I don't think it fucking matters. And most people here cook. They don't like eating out, they cook. So only the young ones eat out. But the oldies, oh, look at this little dog. Yeah, so I hope that after you guys watch this, you can kind of have a good look into what it's kind of like on the ground, realistically, right? Because I'm Chinese, okay, but I'm born and raised in Australia. My philosophies, my mindset are very Western, but at the same time, I won't disrespect what it takes to, you know, live in another country. Nor will I judge it based on what I see in media. So you definitely need to come and check it out yourself. And right now with our passport situations, you can come to China for free, essentially, not for free, but you don't need a visa. It's visa free for 30 days. This is a big market here now. This looks like quite a modern market, one of the newer markets here, where fashion meets tech. So this is a big market. It looks like it's called HQ Mart and it's still open. There's a lot of cool products already, and this one's busy. There are a lot of people here. So let's go to the top and start from there. So you can see here multiple floors of technology. So this is one of my favorite brands, which is Godox, or Godox actually, because that's what the Chinese translation directly means. This is one of the newer tech markets for sure. And the way you can tell is because, well, it doesn't look shit and dingy like the rest. But you can see here, everyone sells tech. Once again, makes sense. You got charging devices, mobile devices, hair dryers, PS5 games. Yeah, a lot of products. Just don't expect, you know, a lot of it to be quote unquote real. They'll often stamp a label on it just to prove that they have that sort of capacity, but they obviously know that it tricks people. Another DJI. There's Game Boys, switches, Sunny Fade drones. There is a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, so that's one floor. It looks like it's a lot of cameras, action cameras. You've got a lot of iPads, computer accessories, drones, a lot of cool stuff, So the good thing is, every level, there's a description of what you can find here. So you can see there's Logitech stuff. And honestly, even as someone who can speak the local language, as someone who always comes to these sort of places, nothing here is really new for me, right? And I'm always on the hunt for a good deal. But oftentimes it's scary, not in the sense that the actual place is dangerous or scary. It's scary because some of the deals are so good and my wallet is just fucking scared at the amount of deals that you can do here and some of the great negotiations that you can have. But also at the same time, you don't want to buy fake stuff. But with that being said, if you are a educated consumer, you should be able to touch and feel and know if you are getting something real or something fake or getting ripped off. These are all computers, motherboards, graphics cards. You got network equipment, cameras, Aohua, that's a big brand that's popping up all around Australia, which is a Chinese brand that does security cameras. This is the stuff that people have been posting up recently, the LED display bags. You can have an advertisement inside of the backpack whilst you're walking around. So these will be great for expos. So you can see as you climb higher, it gets quieter. It looks like the level that I'm currently at is LED strips, LED lights. Yep, definitely all LED signage. You can see that, that's cool. It's like a little curtain. You've got LED light strips, fixtures, mounts. You've got even stage lights, DJ lights, lighting all around. Deck lighting, patio lighting, LEDs. Essentially whatever you want to find. A lot of these factories will come here and you can even find raw material. That's all LED lighting diodes. You can see here, most of them will have their company name on the walls. If you really want to, honestly, just chuck it into Ali and you can double check yourself. Oftentimes, if they are listed on Ali, then it will either show up as they are a manufacturer or a trading company. And if you don't have access to Ali, then you have to use local Chinese browsers to check. Obviously, Western browsers are not going to give you the most accurate information, like Google, for example, because this is still China. A lot of the information is still kept within, and that means you don't get to get the most accurate information from time to time about these Chinese themes. And I'm looking at the final floor upstairs, and it looks pretty empty. I think everyone's literally gone home because it is a lot of circuit boards, circuitry, motherboards, that type of equipment, which most consumers aren't going to be looking for at this time of year. That's kind of a B2B level up there, where you can get raw material. Yeah, LED lights. So if you want to fit out your whole house, this would be the place to go. I'm sure you can come here and negotiate with the bosses. And you just got to remember, your buying power determines your price, as with all of your negotiations in China. Always remember that golden rule. Your buying capacity, your buying power determines the end price that you're going to get. And another golden rule when sourcing is cheap isn't always good. So don't source for cheap. Source for factory capability, source for technology, source for patents, source for skill. Do not source for the bottom dollar value. Otherwise, you will entirely ruin your business. And if you source for bottom dollar value, that is how you will ultimately release a product into the market that is shit quality, and you're going to have a lot of customer service issues on the back end of it. I mean, yeah, if you're new to business, this is a gold mine. If you have been around ecom for a while, it's kind of normal. It's always worth a visit to these types of places. I want to see if there's any cool stuff downstairs for me to buy personally. I love my gadgets. I love my technology. I love my camera gadgets. As you can see, I'm fully strapped with like Ulanzi, DJI, Ulanzi all over my Osmo. That's one of my favorite brands here in China. Newer is one of my favorite brands too, and also Godox, Newer, Ulanzi. These are some of my favorite brands. Ugreen as well, another brand coming out of China for tech. I love these new brands. The design is gorgeous. Functions are great. Quality is amazing. This is the famous horse that has been viral all over China's social media. One of the factory owners that was making the horse accidentally stuck the face on upside down, and people loved it so much because it was such an honest and funny mistake that it was meant to be like a smiley, happy horse, and then she stuck the upside down face on and released the batch, and that went viral, and people actually wanted to buy that upside down horse more than they wanted to buy the right face up horse. Sometimes you just can't predict virality. You can't predict these trends and what's going to happen. So it looks like downstairs here is the consumer tech zone. Let's have a look. It is live streaming, photography, yada, 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 yada. Look at these keyboards. Flat lay, plastic. Big tech retail stores. You can see everyone kind of sells the same thing. So if you can't get a bargain at one store, just go to the next one. It's literally all the same. So just go to the next one if you can't get a bargain at one. Wow, a robotics store here. Giant drones. Look at that. It's a plane. Carbon fiber drone, security drone. So just from coming to the market, you can see how competitive it is. You can see how competitive it is in China. I'm literally talking about two of the same stores selling the exact same product side by side. In Chinese, they call that word juan, which literally kind of means swirl, right? And it's a swirl of competition here in China, where literally every single person is competing to the bottom dollar. That's also a very different philosophy than we have back at home. In China, it's about competition to the bottom dollar and everyone dies. Whereas for us outside, it's a competition of brand value and positioning. So we're not so much focused on how cheap a product is, but how much value a customer can extract from us, and also the sort of level of service and customer service that we can provide to these customers as well. So the philosophy of business is slightly different here in China versus back overseas. And just from coming to one of these markets, you can see how competitive it is, which is why when you negotiate business, do not be afraid to push on certain numbers that you want, to push on certain goals that you want, because, you know, if they can, they will do their utmost best to help you and partner with you, because everyone here in China wants to do business with the outside world, essentially, because they know that competition is way too fierce here. So the more customers and the more clients they get outside, the better it is for them. This is the Xiaomi store. So Xiaomi is one of the biggest tech companies in China. They pretty much sell everything. All of this walking is getting me hungry, and I'm almost out of battery. But you know what? I'm in a tech area. Maybe I should just get another portable battery. They're quite cheap here. But I do want to find a trusted brand. With things like battery, you do have to actually look out for quality. It's incredibly important to get quality, especially for chargers, or they can ruin your devices. So in China, the certification that they need to take a battery or a portable battery onto a plane is called 3C, okay? They need to have 3C certification. So if you are shopping for batteries, you need to make sure that they have that. Bluetooth glasses. Very interesting. Very rarely do you find stuff that is quite new per se. It's kind of, most of the stuff here that gets pushed into the market is stuff that's been around for a while. But that doesn't mean you can't find some cool stuff. There's a chess drone there. So this thing can play chess with you. AI chess machine. So it sets up the board and then I guess you can play a game with it. That's really cool. Like I said, you still do see some kind of cool stuff here. This is great technology as well, is you can pick up a translator, a voice translator for 500 RMB, and this would help you as well in all your journey across China. I just realized that this is the same trading center, the same market as the one I just came out. I think. No, it's not. I'm tripping out right now because it all looks the same. And I swear I just walked past a spot that I was at before. Yeah, I don't know. This looks like the same as everywhere else. But this one is a lot busier, this side, whatever side this is. I thought this was the same as the center I just came through, but it's actually not. It is a different center, but it just looks the same. And usually when you're walking through, a lot of people will be, not so much heckling, but they'll try to usher you into their store because of how competitive it is. And so they'll often try to pull you into their shop so that they can get a bit of service, a bit of sales for the day, because it is so competitive. It's like a little mini iPhone, tiny little iPhone. Lots of drones. This is the new Insta360 anti-gravity drone, which is really cool. That one there, and it's 6,799 RMB for the drone. That's actually quite good. It's a 360 drone that captures content as you fly. Flashy store, yep, this is definitely a different center. So, sorry I tripped out earlier. I literally thought that I was in a new place, but, sorry, I thought that I was in the same place. I'm full getting confused now. It literally is another entire side that I missed. It is the exact same center as the one before, just a completely different half of it that wasn't there before. This store's pretty cool. They've got learning robots. They've got floating lights, learning robots for children. So you can see, these are for kids. Yeah. Education, AI, right? Is that AI? What's that AI?
Yeah,
AI?
AI now.
Okay, that's cool. Oh, there's Montessori as well.
I am here.
Oh, wow.
What can we do?
What can you do?
Let me think. Oh, there are so many fun things you can do. You could draw a colorful picture, read a story, or even create, and you are on a magical adventure. Do you want to imagine you are brave to all of our very cool pets life? What kind of fun thing sounds exciting to you
That's
today?
cool. That's very cool. Very interesting stuff in the store. A lot of kids stuff. Look at that. That's cool. Magnetic ferrous speakers. I hope you guys have enjoyed some sourcing tips here in China in the middle of Shenzhen. And I hope you enjoyed for next time. Use these tips to help you with your business journey and hopefully source better, and always make sure you negotiate. And don't be a cheap cunt. Don't stinge out on pricing when you don't need to, because, hey, everyone's gotta eat. If you force your supplier to starve, you're never gonna get a good deal and you're never gonna get longevity in your business. So make sure everybody eats, right? The more they eat, the happier they are, the better service you get, and the better products you make. Happy sourcing, guys.